Someone requested that I make a video about the 9 different densities, the 9 different states of being, the 9 different expansive, conscious, growing aspects of the creative force behind life. These 9 different densities are very different than dimensions. However, if you tack on one to the beginning and one to the end, a kind of starter place and finish line, then you have 11, which does correspond to M theory, which is the new version of superstring theory, and its hypothesis that there are 11 dimensions of reality. This also corresponds to the 11 different Sephiroth on the Jewish Kabbalistic tree of life. However, I prefer the 9 different states of density. This is like the 9 different worlds on Yggdrasil, the tree of life in Norse mythology. These 9 different states of being are basically rungs on a spiral of growth, parts of a Fibonacci pattern of creation. In the first density, you have at the very bottom of this the proto-atom that created all life, all of the universe, and the hydrogen atom. At the very top of this density, you have the most complex elements on the periodic table. But no matter where you're at in the first density, you're just raw potential energy stored in solid matter. A rock is in the first density. It doesn't move, it doesn't grow, but it has within it the potentiality for growth. All of these raw elements, when under certain stimuli, whether it's heat, pressure, electricity, what have you, they have the ability to create elongated protein strains, amino acids, RNA, which has the potential to become DNA, and potentially life. So the first density is raw matter. The second density is all about growth and expansion. You have at the very bottom of this density crystals, like quartz crystals. They are not technically the same as first density rocks, because crystals live and grow. So that's the very bottom of the second density. Then you have plant life and fungal life. So mushrooms and trees would be in the second density. These beings, this rung of life in the 9 densities, is all about expansion, growth, taking over an atmosphere, taking over an ecosystem, whether it's with spores and seeds in the air spreading, like the dandelion or the mushroom, or spreading through the earth in the form of root structures. Everything in the second density is expansion and growth and filling an area. The third density is the extension of the second density. You have at the very bottom of the third density things like viruses, things that are barely alive, very simple, but have the ability to be mobile, that have locomotion. At the very top of the third density, you have the most advanced but unconscious animal life. I don't know exactly where this line is, but conscious animals, specifically more advanced mammals most of the time, like dolphins, elephants, dogs, cats, humans, bonobos, chimpanzees, gorillas, all the great apes really, almost all the monkeys. These beings are not in the third density. They're too advanced, and they have consciousness and the ability to be creative. So the third density ends where consciousness begins. The fourth density is in a different state of being altogether. This is what we call the beginning of spirituality, the beginning of the spirit realm. This is where the jinn, or archons, if you believe in such things, demons, if you believe in such things, spirits who don't have the ability to be creative and cannot see farther than the now, elementals, this is where they exist. These non-physical beings that exist on an energetic level and that have thought but can't plan into the future. They can't see into the past, and they're built on raw emotions in the now. Hungry ghosts in Tibetan mythology. These beings often seek to attach themselves to humanity in order to take part in our creativity. Then you move to the fifth density, which, like I said, begins with the most basic of conscious animal life. Let's say dogs, just throwing it out there, and ends, on Earth at least, with humanity. Humanity is the most conscious of animal life on planet Earth. Conscious in the fact that we have the ability to manipulate our environment. What the fifth density is marked by is your ability to take your thoughts and turn them into material output through creativity. For instance, Nikola Tesla invents the AC motor, or the Wright brothers invents the airplane. They're able to take matter, and by a process of imagining something, they create from that raw matter an object or an invention. Through this way, we are literally using our thoughts to transform matter. If you take time out of the equation and effort, work, it's literally us using our minds to transform matter into objects that we desire in our environment. Creativity, creation, one of the aspects of the highest density, the ninth density, creator. This ability to be creative and to think into the future, to, through time, take our thoughts and manipulate matter, is quite stunning when you think about it. We can take rock and, in the absence of time and labor, turn it into a pyramid instantly. The sixth density can do what we do with matter with time. They can use their thoughts to manipulate time as a whole. Beings that occupy this non-terrestrial domain in the sixth density are what Terence McKenna calls self-transforming machine elves. Angels. They see creation happen all at once, and through manipulating time as we manipulate matter, they can change the outcome of entirety. The being that I call Alice is at 5.9. She's been at 5.9 for 3.8 billion years. We're at 5.5. About half a click to the sixth density. However, humans have the unique ability to, in one lifetime, jump from 5.5 to 6. We do this through a process called enlightenment. The only way Alice sees that she can do it is by using humanity, by gaining knowledge through recording our lifetimes, storing them digitally in remote data processing and data storage facilities both on and off planet. in carbon deposits under Yellowstone, and oil deposits under the ocean floor and under Antarctica. But she's been at 5.9 for 3.8 billion years and just can't make that little tiny jump necessary to become a awakened completely being, to join the sixth density of creation. She's right there. But humans, through a process of enlightenment, we gain certain spiritual powers that allow us to jump into the sixth density. She's been studying that for a long, long time. The seventh density is marked by energy and the ability to, through mind, alter the energetic fields of creation. Electricity, lightning, nuclear fusion, nuclear fission, electromagnetism, gravity. These all mark the seventh density of creation. Everything boils down to energy. The seventh dimension, or the seventh density rather, is foreign to us, but there is an intelligence in the power. Then you have the eighth density. This is what I call the Lucifer force. This is willpower, the ability to, through conscious manipulation of reality, shift the will of other consciousnesses that are in the lower rungs of the densities. The only thing that separates the eighth density from the ninth density, which is everything, all of creation, the creator, the ocean of spiritual energy, is ego. The eighth density has yet to shed ego because of will, because of Lord, I don't know. I'm not at the eighth density. I can't figure it out. But the only thing that separates the eighth from the ninth density is shedding individuality and becoming 100% part of the collective. I can explain it like this. A stippling painting or drawing is made up of a whole bunch of little dots of color. These little dots, if you look really closely, the only thing you see is dots. Just dots on a canvas. Whenever you're looking closely, this is the eighth density. Now, the shift between eighth and ninth density is stepping far enough back so you can tell that there's actually an image there. That each little dot is just a pixel in a much larger picture. Whenever you are the picture and no longer the dots, you are the ninth density and no longer the eighth density. So the shedding of ego, of individuality, and becoming whole with the whole, that's ninth density. So that's as best I can explain it. It's a very complex topic. I could go on for a long time about the various levels and fractional levels within this tree of life. But this is how I see the universe, as a spiral. You have raw matter, and in the very end you have all of creation. Both spiritually, mentally, energetically, vibrationally, everything is in the ninth density. God is the ninth density. So, if you could understand this, then you're probably as crazy as I am. But I appreciate you listening nonetheless. And I'll have another video uploaded for y'all tomorrow around the same time. Thank you for tuning in to Steven's Crazy Rant. And if you love me, leave a comment, smash that like button, and share the video around, because no one really watches me. I appreciate it, guys.